Hey everybody, I hope you're doing pretty well. And today I got a big update coming to you about the Ape Heroes project. It's been a while since I've covered Ape Heroes. I'd have to look back for a while to find it, but I know they're a project I was pretty bullish on and telling a lot of you about. And yes, I haven't sold any of my Ape Heroes throughout this entire time. I'm holding them all, and now staking for their POW token is coming live. So they have this big update here now on their page. They have staking. Now it doesn't start for a few hours, so we have 15 hours at the time of recording. It is 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time now. I'm going to try to get this video up around 4 o'clock, which would mean this would be down to about 12 hours left to get your heroes staking. Now the reason they have this timer is so that people have time to get all their heroes staked. As you can see, I went ahead and did some staking today, so I have my uncommons and my heroes, and if I click on here I can see my ones that I have staked. I went ahead and just staked everyone because until the game comes out, this is the main functionality of the cards. Once the game is out, there will be kind of a mixture of staking these and using them, or maybe when the game is out you just have to have them staked to play. I don't know, we're still kind of speculating on their P2E game that they're making, but it is on their roadmap. So what is the POW token and why would you want to earn it? Well, if you own the cards and you've been holding them, you definitely want to get them here in staking because of the release schedule that we're going to go over. But in general, this is going to be the utility token for their entire project, which includes building out more of the NFTs that are coming out. And if we go check out their market here, you can see that the dinos are coming out next. They've already released heroes, villains, they have these special gauntlets and serums, and they also have a special cube that they have going on for a giveaway going on right now in their Telegram. I'll have a link in the description below. You can go there, you can check it out. They have a couple different giveaways going on right now for anybody that wants to come and get into this project now. If we look at the market on Ape Heroes, they are trading well under mint at this point. Well, not well under. I'll take that back. I think they've been getting a little bit of a boost. Price low too high. Wow, somebody's selling a rare for only 0.29. That's pretty wild. You got a couple rares down here at this price. Commons are so rare from all of the ones that got burned that it's kind of an interesting thing, because each one of the staking things, when we go back to the staking tab, it's who has so many of each one of the different kind of things to actually stake into the pools for how much that they're going to be able to earn. You also got, so these minted at 0.33. So these are a little bit under mint and guaranteed rare, so that's not too bad. And BNB is much cheaper now than when it was before. If we go ahead and we go into villains in theory cost a hero who is 0.33 and another 0.33 serum, but there was some way to get free serums and you could buy them off the secondary market sometime cheaper. So these people are selling these villains for well under their cost, so that's pretty amazing to see, and I think that's a mistake. So these ones down here in these 0.2 range will probably get taken off the market pretty soon. They're even tempting for myself to go ahead and pick up. I think I will go ahead and grab this one, and it'll be included in my giveaway that I talked about in my last Splinterlands video. That's right, I'll officially be giving away an ape villain as well. It'll be a little bit after staking it'll be like right before staking starts, so if you win it, you need to get it into the staking pool very quickly. Or no, it'll be right after on the first day, but it'll still be on the first day, so you'll be able to still get a good amount of the rewards that I'm going to tell you about. So what is the POW token? Let's go over this again. I've talked about it in the past. So it's a utility token for their NFT staking program, their liquidity yield farming that they're going to be doing, their actual P2E game, and their IDO launchpad. Now their IDO launchpad kind of comes to launching other people's NFT projects and then having them have a market. So that's kind of something they already have there, though they haven't actually got anybody to come over and launch on their platform. This is going to be hard to do right now because we are in a down market. A lot of people don't have extra funds. A lot of people are hurting and sad, and so a lot of people are not going to be going into this. This is also the time where you have a chance to get into something at day one, and you're going to be able to get your your stuff a lot cheaper than anybody else if you still have any money to spend. And if you don't, if you've been holding the apes, well, it's time to finally start collecting these tokens and see if this can turn into something special. Now, the distribution here is relatively fair. I like it. It's all out there, no pre-mine. They're going to, no real pre-stake. We have these 12 hours for everybody else to get staking started. So they didn't like the team stake all of their heroes and then go, okay, staking's live like 2 hours after they pulled down a whole bunch of rewards. Nothing sneaky went on like that. So we have the 25% of it's going to staking and farming. 25% of it goes to P2E and future roadmaps. This is a little bit up in the air because they're working on their P2E game, and they'll have to decide how they're going to do their tokenomics within the game, which will be important to not mess up. They actually have a lot for marketing and community. So this is kind of exciting because they are trying to do some stuff to get themselves listed on some certain platforms, and maybe they're going to land some bigger content producers than myself, or some kind of special airdrop campaign to try to get more people to come and look at this project. And it makes sense that they have this big budget of this token for that, because eventually, even if they're not going to use it now, when their P2E game is going to come out, they're going to need to market. They're going to need a way to bring people over. They also have set up that they will set up $10,000 in BNB, which is actually quite a bit of BNB now, and then they'll give away the 60 million tokens for an initial liquidity pool. Now, this doesn't, now 10% of the tokens are set aside. Now they could put, the DAO could decide to put $10,000 with all 60,000 tokens, which would give you an initial trading price. I should have done this ahead of time, but if you have $10,000 in the pool worth the BNB and 60 one more zero. Not a good calculator. It's a small amount, right? But I don't think that's what the DAO should necessarily do, because the DAO can decide. And so they could start this liquidity pool with maybe only 10 million tokens and $10,000, which would give the token a starting trading value of a little bit higher. And then we would be able to save 50 million tokens that we could use to go ahead and distribute for anything that the DAO decided to distribute them for. And that would be something that I think would be a better use of these tokens. We'll have to see what happens once the DAO is formed, and we get to see who gets to control the voting and what kind of things get put out for them to do. But some of them, but at least $10,000 will be paired up with some amount of tokens for an initial liquidity when now that the token is launching. And the team does get 15% of the token, but it is not something they get immediately. So that's not something that bugs me, because they do go ahead and get these over time. Now, they do go really quickly over the master ape contract for emissions on the tokens. Here's the reason why you want to get your card staking right away, is because in week 1 they're giving out 128 tokens per block, which is going to mean that per hour you're going to have 153,000 tokens coming into the marketplace, into the different farms. So that's something that's pretty wild. But you can see in week 2 it goes down, 3, 4, it goes down very aggressively, and in about 3 months time here, you're going to be down at 15 tokens instead of 128. So it has a very deflationary emission schedule, and it goes all the way out till 8 years until the token has been completely put out into the ecosystem. So that's a pretty good mode. Now, they have a very interesting vesting model for this token, and I'm just going to go over this once again. So they want to kind of balance that. They don't want people like unstaking their heroes and selling their tokens and restaking them back and forth and back and forth. So they have a really interesting way. And so their example they give you is this. So staking rewards claimed during week 1 will only be 5% unlocked and 95% locked. During week 2, they'll be 7% unlocked and 93% locked. And they're going to be locked until after week 49. So you're not going to see anybody who gets in early get a crap load of tokens that they get to dump. Because let's say you stake your guys for 1 week and then you unstake them during week 2. You get 7% of those tokens you you earned liquid, you get 93% of them locked until the 49th week. You also are, and then it just, the longer you wait, the more that gets unlocked instantly, and the more that is locked up until the 49th week. Now, we all know that tokens, when they're brand new, usually spike up in the beginning and then down later on. And then if the project is good and strong, they'll continue to rise from wherever the end floor ends up being. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't unstake and restake or do any of those games. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to look at this, but you do want to be staked in that first week, and you don't want to necessarily mess up and pull your guys out too soon and end up with a large amount of tokens locked for what equates to like half a year. So make sure that you understand that, and that you come and you give this a read through. I'll have a link to their Git book. It's very good. I don't want to go over it very, very, Now, they did say that there are going to be quests and things that you can do in like marketing campaigns to go ahead and get your tokens unlocked a little bit earlier, though we don't know a lot about that. So when it comes to actual different staking pools, this is one of the things that you need to know. If you're brand new and you're coming into this project, you might want to get heroes or villains that are all the same rarity, because when you stake them into a pool. Each pool gets a certain amount of tokens, and then your ownership of that pool bases how many tokens you're going to get. So there's a pool for the commons, there's for the common heroes, the epic heroes, the legendaries, and the uncommons. And then you can own a certain ownership of each one of those pools. You also can get equipment to go ahead and boost your percentage of the pool that you get for a maximum of about a 20% boost. And I'll show you that when we go take another look at the staking page, so we can explain it a little bit more. Let's go ahead and get, okay, the liquidity farming isn't out yet. And the utility here, it's still a little bit of a, just basic utility of the token. But the main thing for them is that they're going to be used to mint future collections. So they have the dinos and the bases, and the dinos and bases are all going to be part of the P2E game. So basically, you're going to need the POW token to continue to go ahead and get the NFTs that you want for their upcoming play to earn world. And then the staking of the NFTs is going to be used for certain other projects that happen in the whole ecosystem that they're building. I have to be a little vague here because this is all a little bit new, and we don't know exactly what other projects are coming, so I can't explain that, or how the token would be used in those kind of things. So we're going to end here by just taking one last look at the staking pool. So when you come here, you can see that when you open the common ones, I only have one hero. One common hero. The total pool is 525, so my share of the pool would be 1/525. Not very good. But if I go down to my uncommons, I actually have a decent amount of uncommon heroes. So I actually have 8/570. That's a better amount of ownership. I only have 2 rares out of 576, only 1 epic out of 501, and only 1 legendary out of 329. But on my villains, I actually have 3 legendary villains out of 154, and there's only 154 that are going to get this pool. And as you can see, that this one with the ×4 is getting the most tokens given to it to the least amount of people, because this was the hardest kind of cards to get. The epics, I have 2 here. So on my legendary villains, I went ahead and boosted them with my gauntlets. Each one of the gauntlets boosts my earnings by 20%. So I'm ready to go. Hopefully, I'll be updating you a lot on how my token collection is doing, and for when I'm going to, what I'm earning and what the token is worth. This should be kind of a little fun thing, though I'm not positive the token's going to have a lot of value in the beginning until some of the projects like Dinos actually launch and you can buy them, and until we get a better look at like the bases that they're going to be coming out with, the other equipment cards, and the other use cases for their token, we won't know a lot of what they are doing. One of the things they could do is right here, they still are waiting for a lot of the villains to be created, and they require a serum and a hero, and serums are kind of expensive. as you can see, if I wanted to, let me see, price low. So if I wanted to turn that common into a villain of some kind, the card I bought, it would cost me another 0.3 BNB. So it's just something they could maybe do some kind of way to let us mint some additional serums. Let me go check here. Oh yeah, and you can mint serum, as you can see, for 0.33 BNB. So maybe this is what I was trying to say. Maybe this can get an option to be minted with the POW token. So that would be a way that we could actually get more of the serums out onto the marketplace, give it a use case, and then maybe we'd go ahead and get the rest of the villains actually created. Though I'm cool with not that many being there because I got my 10 and they're staking and I should be earning quite a bit of tokens. All right, guys, there'll be more to come on the Ape Heroes project. I just really wanted to get this out there before this clock gets down to 0. Again, at the time of my video, if you already own these, you will probably have about 12 hours to come and stake your cards so that you can get your share of the POW token when it starts next week. All right, everybody, have a good one, and I will talk to you later. Goodbye.